It is a debate between sauce and gravy, but my Italian family calls it gravy. First, you need to start off with a big stock pot because this gravy recipe is going to grow on you. But the majority of the time, I go big because I end up freezing the gravy or canning it. You'll start off by heating up 3 tablespoons of oil. Then you'll add 2 boneless pork chops. Now you can add 2 medium onions to the pot or 2 large onions. It does not matter how much onions you add, it just adds more flavor. What you want to do at this point is to get your onions nice and caramelized, nice and light brown. This could take up to an hour. You're going to stir the onions often until they get really good and caramelized. So you're going to need some cans of tomatoes. Now this all depends on the size of the batch that you want to make. If I end up going small, I'll use a 32-ounce can of diced tomatoes and 3 32-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. And then you're going to need about 3 to 4 small cans of tomato paste. This all depends on how thick you want your gravy. Here I have a 100-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and I usually just use crushed tomatoes. Once your onions are caramelized, you're going to add your cans of tomatoes to the stock pot. I'm using 2 of the 100-ounce cans of tomatoes because I'm going big. Once your tomatoes are added in, take the cans of tomatoes, rinse the sides off with water, and pour that water into your stock pot. Then you're going to stir and cook on simmer for 30 minutes to an hour. After the 30 minutes, add your cans of tomato paste. I usually go through 3 cans of small tomato paste. And then let's add some seasonings. I like to add fresh garlic to my gravy. I really don't count how many cloves. I just grab a big handful, peel them, and mince them and add them in. Then I start adding seasonings. You can use fresh or dry, and this is where I don't measure. I just add basil, parsley, oregano, and Italian seasoning. Then I add some sugar to cut the acidity. This you can gauge all by taste. And me and my mom, we usually use about 3/4 of a cup. But taste as you go, and if you need more sugar, add more. Let this simmer for 30 minutes to an hour. Stir it often. Next, I add hot Italian sausage. The hotter, the better. You want those spices. You want that flavor in this gravy. I just take the sausage, quarter them up, and throw them in the pot. Cook with the gravy for 30 minutes. While that's cooking, I make the meatballs. I think in this video I did 3 pounds, but basically I'm just going to tell you how it is just to make a pound of meatballs. For the meatballs, you're going to need some ground hamburger. You'll need 1 egg, some dried parsley or fresh, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I just measure by the scoop in my hand. Like honestly, we don't use measurements. You'll also need at least a cup of breadcrumbs, just depending on your beef. That's just gonna bind everything together. And some Parmesan and Romano cheese. Add the meatballs in and simmer for another hour to an hour and a half. You're basically cooking this now until the meatballs are done. And stir it often, very gently. Well, this is my Italian gravy recipe. I hope you give it a try. I hope you like it. If you make this, what do you do a little differently, or what do you add in? I would love to know. Thanks so much for joining me today, and we will see you soon. Bye.